Hi everyone, I'm going to show you how to do an oil change on a Peugeot 206 HDI. This is the 2-liter engine, probably the same for the 1.4-liter engine. It's a really special edition with a personal paint and really nicely customized. Alright, so what you'll need, 5 liters of oil. I can't remember exactly how much you need, I'll just see how much I drain out more or less and then put the new oil according to that. You'll need a new oil filter. Always have an oil filter when you change the oil, otherwise it's pretty pointless. Oil drain plug with its washer. You don't have to put a new one on. I know on this car that it's pretty used up, so I'm going to put a new one on. And an oil filter key. There's not much space in this car to get it out, so you'll need a thin one like this and not the claw keys. I'm going to show you quickly where are the different things. So first, the oil drain plug here. Get something to get the old oil in as well. Here's the filling cap and the oil filter in blue over here. So you see there's not much space in this HDI engine. On gas engines there's a lot more room, this one not that much, especially with the aircon radiator, so you have to sort of make your way through, but it's manageable. I've already done it once on this car, and I forgot to mention you'll need a 21mm key, so I'm using a ratchet because I don't have a key that big. Yes, I'm badly equipped, but still I manage with what I have. Flat key is better than this because you see there's not much grip on the plug, so sometimes it can be hard to get it out. Well, hopefully it will be fine this time. Last time I did this I scraped off quite a bit of skin off my hands. Okay, so we're gonna first undo the plug, the drain plug, and then I'm going to open the filling cap above. I don't like opening the cap before because it's just going to make the oil come out faster, and I don't need it to come out any faster than what it will do already. So I have this pit which is quite useful, but if you don't, you can still do this. The best way to do is probably to lift the passenger side of the car, even remove the wheel if you want, so then you can easily access the drain plug. And then once you've let the oil come out, you can lower the car down again so that it really empties all the old oil out. So first I'm gonna untighten the screw and then put this underneath. Okay, so this time it came out really easily. So yeah, I prepared the gloves. Wasn't useful this time. And you'll see it's going to come out pretty quick. So that's why I don't like to open above first. Make sure you get off the old washer as well. And avoid dropping the screw in. Okay. I think I haven't got the washer, it's probably fell in, so just have to make sure before putting the new sump plug in that the old washer is still not stuck against it. Alright, so we're gonna just let it drip all the old oil out. I'm gonna open the fill cap just so it pulls in somewhere and makes it empty fully, and we're gonna start unscrewing the oil filter. See up there, the blue one. You have to do this from above, okay? Because with all these pipes, especially if you've got aircon, you're going to be in a bit of a mess to get to it. So we'll do it from above, and I'll try and film as good as I can. Before you undo the oil filter, make sure you have another tub or a bigger one in the first place, because there's going to be a lot of oil, like 250 or 300 milliliters that's gonna come out of the oil filter and run down here. So make sure you have something to collect it. Right, so I'm opening the filling cap. Don't take it off. It's better if nothing falls in it, so just unscrew it and leave it on like that. And now we're gonna place our key on the filter, and there's really not much space, but we'll manage. Once you've got it a bit loose, you can usually keep undoing it by hand. So that's the first, it's just the first part that's the hardest. See if I can, there's all these pipes, it's really annoying. Okay, so I actually found an easier way to do this. You're gonna put your arm down here, underneath these hose, and put your key, it's hard to show you, like that. And then you tighten it on well, and now you can undo the filter. You're gonna have to untighten and retighten your key a few times, because you can't have a good range. But you see, it's coming up. It's easier with 2 hands also. You don't have to have a camera in your hand. But even with a camera, you can manage. So do this until it's loose enough, and then you can keep going by hand. Now it's completely loose, so I'm gonna just make it come off, and I'm gonna leave it under there so that all the oil drains out into the container underneath. It's already started emptying itself, so just let it do that while it's still in this position. Okay, yeah, you can do like this, take it off, but leave it down there, let it completely drain out, because then you're going to have to pass it through where your hand is, where your arm came. So that's here. It's really like a maze of pipes and cables, but that's, I think, the only place where you can really take it out, unless maybe from underneath. I'll try from underneath, maybe, if it's easier. See how I was telling you before, it just drains through here, so you're gonna need to clean up a bit this mess later on. So now I'm going to try and take it out by here. See if I can do this. It'll be probably easier. Okay, got it. An oil drain is a simple task, but sometimes there's just so little space. That's the problem with European engines, often really cramped. Okay, so got it. Just try and make its way through here. Okay, here it is. So drain all the oil in there. And to put it back on, well, if you manage to get it out by here, you can put it back in the same way, or from above. I think last time I did it from above. Before you put the new one in, take some old oil and put it on the joint, so it doesn't stick for the next time. If you don't do that, there's a chance that it's gonna, with the heat and the tightening, that it's gonna stick to the metal and make your life really hard for the next time. It's already complicated enough as it is, so anything that can make your life easier, take it. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back by here. I need my 2 hands. Once you've started screwing the filter on, then just keep screwing it on as much as you can by hand. When the joint comes in contact with the metal, you're gonna feel it. When it becomes too hard by hand, put the key back on and do 3/4 of a turn. That's what it says on the box. You can do that. Okay, so it's easy to do by hand, like that. Make sure you can't tighten any further by hand before you start using the key. Okay, so now it's being nice and tight. If you can get your hand out of there, then just put your key back on and try and do 3/4 of a turn. Managed to tighten fully the filter. Now we're going to put the new oil drain plug. I'm going to just wipe this part nice and clean. Still dripping a bit. The longer you can let it drip, the better it is, you know. This is as much old oil you've got out, the better it is, but it's good enough. So I'm going to put the new one, which isn't the right size, so that's good news. But yeah, so I'm going to just have to put the old one back on. I love these little surprises just at the last moment. Luckily I have another washer. It's not the same type exactly, but it should do it. So I'm just going to put this one on. Okay, so screw it fully on by hand, because you really don't want to put it on sideways or force it with a key and ruin the plug. So just screw it on by hand, and when you can't do any more, you're going to tighten it with the key. Tighten it well, but don't tighten too much. You don't want to break anything. And anyways, once we've put the new oil in, we're gonna come and check here. Once we've got the engine running, check here if it doesn't seep through. And if it's not the case, then that means you've tightened enough. Otherwise, just take your key again and just give it a little more. I think for now it's good. I'll see later. I didn't know exactly how much oil I had in there, so this was a 5-litre container, and the oil's to here plus what's in there. So I think there's probably 4.5 litres. So I'm just gonna put it in to 4 litres. Make the engine run, because this won't be filled. The oil filter won't be filled until you make the engine run and the oil pump fills it up. So it's pointless to check if the level's right before doing that. And then let it engine off for a few minutes and see and check again later. Once all the oil has come back down, check again to see where it is, and then just complete if necessary but it's better to have to put more in than if you've already put too much, because then you're gonna have to drain some out, and that's not really fun. Before I do that, I'm gonna clean up all over here. I just used an old cloth to wipe off the most oil, and then I'm gonna use some brake cleaner to just get it as clean as possible. The point is also to see the, I'm going to try and zoom in. Okay, see that shiny ring? That's the base of your oil filter, and that's where you're going to look to see if it's leaking or not. So once you've got the engine running, look at that spot and you'll see if some oil seeps out. If it's the case, you're going to have to tighten it a little more. If it isn't, don't touch anything, it's perfect. Alright, so I'm just going to fill her up and then start the engine and see if everything's okay. Alright, so now I'm just going to look here to see if no oil's dripping. It's not the case, so that's fine. Same thing for the oil filter up there. Nothing coming, so we're good. So I put 4.5 liters. I'm gonna let it run a few minutes, no, a few seconds. Turn the engine off. Wait 15 minutes, something like that. More if you can. And then check the oil level to see if it's to the max. And that's all there is to it. And don't forget to recycle your old oil. Apart from the fact that it's a bit time consuming because they're hard to access, anyone can do that, even if you don't have a pit. I didn't talk about the oil grade. I'm putting 10W40 in this one because it's an old engine. It's got like 300,000 kilometers, so it's starting to seep through the, I don't know what it's called, the gasket that's the highest on the engine. You can put 540 if you have a more recent engine, 530 probably as well, but if you're in the same case as me with an old engine, 1040 should do it. Probably just make it oil strain a bit sooner in kilometers. I hope it helped you out. If you have any questions, leave a comment under the video, and have a good oil change. See you next time.